चेकिङ सुरु गर्ने भन्ने टाइपमा पनि समय छुट्याएको छौँ। समय अलिकति मिसक्यालकुलेसन भए पनि हामी अहिले 7 मिनेट ढिलो सुरु गरेका छौँ र हाम्रो यो सेसनको चेयर चाहिँ अघि भनेको जस्तै प्रोफेसर कृष्णकान्त पन्थीजी हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ चाहिँ जियोलोजिकल इन्जिनियरिङ एनटीएनयू नर्वेको चाहिँ प्रोफेसर हुनुहुन्छ र साथसाथै हामीसँग स्पिकरहरू चाहिँ डाक्टर विनोद दाल अमात्यजी हुनुहुन्छ, नेत्र तिमिल सेनाजी हुनुहुन्छ, महेश कार्की र भूपेन्द्र बस्नेतजी हुनुहुन्छ। यसमा मेरो धेरै टाइम नराखिकन प्रोफेसर कुमारकान्त पन्थीज्यूलाई चाहिँ यो सेसनको चेयर गरिदिनु हुन हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्छु र साथसाथै यो सेसनमा बोल्ने मौका दिनुभएको र यो सेसन अर्गनाइज गर्नुभएकोमा एनआरएनएलाई साथसाथै राजुजीलाई चाहिँ एकदम धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। प्रोफेसर कृष्ण सर, अल अप टु यु। हजुर कृष्णजी हुनुहुन्थ्यो के अरे अघि त पार्टिसिपेन्ट्समा, अहिले पनि के छ?
कृष्णजी हुनुहुन्छ होला, यहाँ त देखिनुहुन्छ क्या।
Yes, I'm here. Let me administer first.
के छ खबर गुरु? काम छ कि काम छ?
Now back to you, Krishna sir.
Yes. Very good day, everybody. So I could see quite a lot of our friends are waiting to go through this session. So I have been given to chair this session. So the session name is Infrastructure Development and Construction. And this session is very important for Nepal. And first, I will welcome you all in this session. And I will give around 20 minutes presentation first. And then I will move to Dr. Vinod Amataju. And then Netra Timilsina, Dr. Netra Timilsina will follow the presentation. And Mahesh Karkiju and Bhupendra Bosnet, and we will close our session. So my name is Krishna Panthi, as you have seen. I work at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology as a professor. My background is a very professional civil engineer, and I worked many years building many tunnels. And right now I am working as an activist to start a new education program in Nepal. And that has been quite successful, and I will discuss about it today. So my title of the presentation is Importance of Capacity Building in Rock and Tunnel Engineering for Better Infrastructure Development in Nepal. So through this presentation, my outline will be as following. First, I will discuss briefly on use of underground space, where as a comparison how we do in Nepal and how it is in Norway, for example, where I live now. And then I will go for use of underground space in Nepal, in which areas we need this infrastructure development. And we don't have so far a proper education system in Nepal that covers this area. And then I will come to the need for capacity building in Nepal in tunneling, rock and tunneling sector. And at the end, I will present you the developed curriculum content that we have developed. And the MSc in Rock and Tunnel Engineering has started in Nepal. So this is my my outline. So if we look here, so I have these two figures here. One is to the left top corner. So it is a nice valley of Norway, where we can see a beautiful fjord and then high and steep mountains. To the right side below, you can see Tamakosi Valley, where now this Tamakosi project is being constructed. So if we look at both these mountainous countries, so they look quite similar, right? So here we have quite a lot of water as in the form of these deep fjords, but in Nepal we have also water in the form of many rivers. Okay. So if we look on the on how is the situation in Nepal and here in this country where I live, so you can see here I have some statistics of use of underground space here. So in our road and railway tunnels in Norway, we have over 2,500 kilometers. In Nepal, we have just started. We have couple of very short tunnels. And then if we look on hydropower sector and water supply system sector, so in Norway, we have over 4,500 kilometers of tunnels. In Nepal, 250 kilometers. So this is the most active area right now. So there are many activities there. And when it comes to underground caverns for powerhouse, in Norway we have over 200, and in Nepal 5 have been built. And then there will the oil and food storage caverns, many of them in Norway, and we don't have in Nepal. Water treatment caverns we have many, and there are no in Nepal. And so sports utility and parking caverns, these are also very important, like a country like Nepal, because we have always space scarcity in the surface. The land in the surface is quite expensive and very difficult to acquire. And last part is electronic data storage possibilities. There also we can use quite a lot of our mountains in Nepal, in fact. So with this brief introduction, I will go again to the use of underground space in Nepal. So there will be some repetition of these issues. So mainly in Nepal, when it comes to the use of underground space, so we need to develop hydropower for energy purpose, right? And then we need to supply water for the irrigation purpose, and people will be needing a drinking water supply. So that is one area where we need to use underground space, meaning tunnels. And then we need to develop shorter, faster, reliable, and safer national road network, which is the huge trouble in Nepal, because every year we have so many accidents, and so many people are killed because of this accident, because of our road quality. So to make better road quality or enhance the quality of the roads, we need to introduce tunnels. And then there is a quite a lot of discussion about trans-Himalayan railway network or road network nowadays, because we need to be connected with Europe. Nepal has a quite a lot of difficulties in connecting in the old market. So therefore, this trans-Himalayan connectivity is very important. And in that part, if we would like to have good connectivity, we need long tunnels. So therefore, it is very important. And then, of course, we have to expand the railway network within Nepal. There are many plans that are being laid. So therefore, tunneling will be needed there. And of course, until today, the storage of oil and gas is in the open areas, which is quite risky, in fact, with respect to risk hazard. So if we store that inside the mountain, so then it will be much cheaper and much safer. So this is another area. So you can see here, if we look on the use of underground space in Nepal, so it is not new. So for centuries, our ancestors used this underground space to make a mining, for example, in the past. And then you can find, if you visit Mustang, Upper Mustang, there are many caves which are used for living purpose. Okay. So therefore, it is not new thing. So we have had that technology in Nepal in the past, but we forgot that. So the modern tunneling or modern use of underground space was started at Thinau, in fact, in 1966, when Thinau hydropower project was built. So then a modern, the way we build tunnels today, this type of construction methods have been started in Nepal. And since then, we have around 250 kilometers of tunnels built especially for hydropower. Other areas that are very limited. So only we have this water supply scheme, Melamsi, that the tunnel construction has completed, but the project has not yet completed. So if we look in this figure, you can see the hydropower potential in Nepal. So we have over 80,000 megawatt theoretical potential, which may be much higher because this data is 1960s data. So therefore, it has not been, nobody has worked on it, what is the int potential, but we have quite a lot. So to harness this renewable hydropower energy, we will be needing quite a lot of activities in tunneling. So even today's planned projects, so there will be a need of 1,500 kilometers of tunneling to be made in Nepal. Okay. And when it comes to the other areas, infrastructure area, like for example, we have very steep mountains and the road cut slopes are very unstable. We have many accidents every year, many rock slides, landslides every year. So that has to be minimized. So therefore, we need to improve the road. And the road network is the only transport system we have, reliable transport system. So therefore, we have to invest more in the road sector. So that investment and improvement will only come through the use of underground space. So that was my part on the underground space use in Nepal. So then how we can do that? So without having a local capacity, a capacity of the local engineers, it is not possible to have economic solution. Okay. So you might have heard many discussions, debates and claims related to tunneling projects. Always there is a huge discussions and cost overruns in that part because we lack the capacity in Nepal. Our engineers are not very well trained in this direction. So we need to have higher education so that they know Himalayan geology, they know our topography. So this is what is important. Okay. So if we look on a tunneling or a rock engineering project, so cost effectiveness is the most important part. And then how to select a right approach to a solution to the problem is very important. And then we should be able to manage the geological risk that we discuss quite a lot in Nepal. So this can be only achieved through the institutional development in Nepal. We cannot just ask foreigners to come there and build projects for us. This is ridiculous. We use too much external resources, and then all the money that was invested in the country is drained away. So therefore, we should enhance our capacity within. So this was the main viewpoint that I had, and then I will give you some couple of examples how bad it will be. For example, if we don't have our knowledge, sufficient knowledge, so then we will end like this. So this Melamsi project, one typical example. So it started planning in 1980s, and even today it has not been finished, over 35 years. Why? Because we don't have a proper education in Nepal, and we don't have a proper institutional development that are responsible to build this type of projects. So we use foreigners, and then they come, and if they don't make sufficient money, they leave, and you have to hire another one and things like this. So it will never end. So the another project is, for example, Tamakosi. So it was identified in 1997, and over 25 years, this project has not yet been completed. So never ending projects. So, and then we say that Rashtriya Gaurav Ko projects. So what kind of Gaurav when you don't finish a project in right time? So therefore, it is very important that we must have right type of education. So I will show you here. So this is every year we have slides like this. You see. So this is a Jure slide some years back in 2014 monsoon period. So huge landslide come here, and then 57 people killed. And it is a slide along one of the major roadway system. And here you can see Muglin to Narayan Ghat every year. It was before monsoon, I read news in a newspaper that there will be no slides along this road stretch they were claiming. But we have so many slides this monsoon, you see. So therefore, it is very important that we have a right type of education so that our engineers, they understand very well what to do here. So therefore, how we can enhance our capacity internally in Nepal is that we should enhance capacity building through education and research. We should have a right type of education that suits for our engineers, for our topography, for our geology. And then we should also, after we have that educated people, so then they will start building the institutions. They will start this contractors, construction companies that are focused in tunneling or rock engineering, and we should build our confidence on ourselves, so that we Nepalese, we can say that we Nepalese, we can build. For example, Norway is a country with 5 million people, and it exports its knowledge in tunneling worldwide. Why? Because they built the capacity within themselves. So this is where we should be focused on. So therefore, it is very important that we have a high level education, especially master's education in rock and tunnel engineering, so that we have sustainable development in Nepal. So with this, I come to the last part of my presentation. So developed curriculum and start of MSc program. So I will highlight what we have done here. So I was in Nepal for sabbatical stay in later part of 2019 and beginning of 2020. But because of the COVID-19, I have to come back quickly here. So when I was staying in Nepal, so I lobbied quite a lot with the leadership there, and then we had a workshop in Nepal that that was engaged to develop a curriculum for the MSc program in rock and tunnel engineering. So which we have completed, and now we have recruited 20 students, and they will be going through the education very soon. So we will do the teaching through digitally now, because we cannot be personally there. But the capacity in internal capacity is lacking in Nepal. So the Tribhuvan University has decided that this master's education program in rock and tunnel engineering will be conducted in Pokhara at the Institute of Engineering Western Regional Campus, and students have been recruited, and they will continue working on it. So if we look on the program, so I should briefly discuss here. So we have 4 years, 4 semesters master study program. First semester, the students will go through underground space for society, geology for engineers, tunnel underground construction methods, and computational tools and techniques. And second semester, they will go more in depth with the rock engineering problems and rock support issues and things like this, so that they learn quite a lot how to do the design for tunnels. Okay. So on the third semester, so they will do project work, and then they will have some elective curriculums. And fourth semester, they will write thesis, and then they will be a master's graduate. So, but what is the status now? So the problem is that this type of education is very practical, and we should use quite a lot of resources in field and in the labs. And then we need a rightly educated professors. They should have a background that suits for to teach that. So we have to train them. The professors need to be trained. They should be doing PhDs related to rock and tunnel engineering. And we should have investment in instrumentation and investigation tools. And we should have these field investigations to be carried out. And a very good rock and tunnel engineering laboratory is very important in Nepal. So right now, how we are trying to manage this master's study course is that we have asked Nepal Tunneling Association, Nepal Society for Rock Mechanics and Hydrolab and Hydrotunneling and NEA Engineering to provide their expertise. There are some people who could teach for a couple of years, so that we enhance the capacity within the IOE. So IOE should, for the long term, they should enhance their capacity. So that capacity should be enhanced through direct government funding. So everybody should press to the government to allocate the sufficient funding. And of course, IOE will do international collaboration with international universities, and cooperation with beneficiaries to institutions is very important. For example, road and railway departments, hydropower sectors, and tunneling sectors and mining sectors. They are the one who can help IOE system if they do they go through the right directions. So you see, this is the news I read on 17th of November 2019. So there have been so many accidents in road accidents in Nepal, and until this November 2019, almost 20,000 people have been killed because of the road accidents. So most of these accidents are because of difficult road. So these roads needs to be improved, otherwise Nepal cannot develop. So this is what I wanted to tell you. So with this my presentation, so I should leave my presentation from here and remove my, I should stop the sharing.
Thank you very much, Panti sir.
Yes. So now what I will do is that after this, if you have any questions, maybe we will discuss that at the end. But I ask now to Dr. Binod Lal Amate to give his presentation on metro rail vision for 2040 for a great Kathmandu Valley. So welcome, welcome Binodji. So the floor is yours. So you will get 20 minutes to present.
Panti sir, this is Sunil again. So thank you very much for your presentation. I'll try to moderate this session if it's with your permission, of course. And our presentations are scheduled for 20 minutes for each presenters. And next on the list is Dr. Binod Lal Amate. So he is principal engineering consultant at Arcadis. When he is ready to go. So basically the things that you have told about this capacity building and institutional development for rock and tunnel engineering, of course, within the metro development, it would be one of the requirements. So let's hear about how our Mr. Binod sir has thought about this metro development could go. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, we do have a question session at the end of our session. So if you have anything, please do write in the chat so I will collect them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sunil sir. Thank you, Krishnapanti sir. Can you all hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, we do.
Can you see my screen as well?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon from London. This is Binod Amate, as introduced. Thank you, Sunilji, for introducing me. Today, I'm going to talk about metro rail development in Kathmandu Valley and why we need this 2040 vision for development of Greater Kathmandu. And I believe, strengthening the economy of Kathmandu Valley will strengthen the economy of the whole country because, like 1/4 of the economy is from the capital valley. So in this talk, I'm talking about the current state of transport we have in the valley and how metro rail could be perceived in the valley and how metro rail should be perceived as an integrated transport. It's not the transport in alone, it should be integrated with the system, and how we can think metro as a urban planning tool. It's just not a transport to transport people from point A to point B. It's a tool to re-coordinate, reorganize, regenerate our city. I'll talk about that. And then I'll talk a little bit about how we can strategically think for the development and what we need to do for that sort of development. So this is the horizon of Kathmandu. You can see the concrete jungle. There is no space for buildings, something like that. It's really haphazardly developing. And this is the green Kathmandu during this COVID-19. The city is quiet. See you can see blue hills because of this less pollution. But if we go back, before COVID scenario, our Kathmandu Valley is like this, fully polluted by air, by dust, by smoke, So Kathmandu's valley's health condition is not very good. And, as I mentioned, you see, Kathmandu is a engine of Nepal in terms of economy. It contributes 1/4 of the economy of the country. And if we look into the economy, we see service sector dominate the economy. But those people doing service, getting service, are treated like this. They don't have proper service system for transport. Is one minibus sitting there, hundreds of people waiting. You see, in the rush hour time, our roads are fully jammed with these microbus, three-wheelers, motorbike, and people are forced to travel with this. There's no quality of life we have. There is no service system we have. So we need to work on how to resolve this problem. So I did a very kind of basic calculation to see how the speed of the car in rush hour time. You see, the speed of cars in our city is 7 km/h. Vehicles are barely moving. Just to travel one point to B point, walking, it's like a walking speed almost. And we have vehicles, motorbike everywhere. As Kathmandu sir mentioned about the parking, we don't have underground parking. Everything is on surface, and motorcycles is everywhere. This is the new road area. And if we see the vehicle statistic here, it's almost like 1/3 of Nepal's transport vehicles are within the valley. So wherever we go, we have a traffic jam. So the whole valley is traffic jam, basically. So realizing that, authorities are widening the road here and there. So this is the widened ring road we have. So authorities are also having access corridor road along the rivers, like this is the Dovikola rivers. And consequence of that, we are restricting the waterway of the river. And when there is a basic rainfall of even 10 years return period, our towns get flooded. We are doing a haphazard development, and widening road in the city corners is a very haphazard. They are encroaching the public private land. These houses look like 100 years old or maybe 75 years old. These houses are they trying to remove to widen the road. So road widening scheme, transport management in Kathmandu is a threat to local resident. And there is a protest for that. It's obviously there is no stakeholder management. There is nobody's looking after the stakeholders, right? They're just simply deciding that we need to widen the road and this is it. So this way, problem will be more chronic. So road widening scheme is basically poor planning, poor management. And if we see the city grains of our Kathmandu, we can see the heritage site, temples. These things are embedded in our city. You see, this is a Bodhanath. Bodhanath stupa is integrated within our town, city. So road widening scheme is a threat to national heritage. So to solve all these problems, I strongly advocate that Kathmandu is in need of metro rail system. As I mentioned again, our city is ingrained embedded with the heritage site here and there. Our roads are barely 4 lanes. So in such type of urban environment, building flyovers will not solve the problem. Maybe we're just shifting the problem from this year to maybe for next 5 years. So they are thinking about building flyovers at many locations like Koteshwar, Tripureshwar, Baneswar. This will not solve the problem. It is just shifting the problem from axis A to axis B. That's it. So to keep the city moving, Kathmandu needs an underground metro system. So underground metro is the future of Kathmandu. And you know, they're talking about, authorities are also talking about developing monorails, cable car. I don't think these are the sustainable solution. These are like a temporary measures, and it is like, you know, I argue that it will be like a overhead bridge construction in Kathmandu for the pedestrian road crossings. They are simply not working. And as the road need to be widened, these need to be dismantled as the traffic goes higher in, and then the monorail system will be insufficient. So we need to be visionary, and we really need to plan in a sustainable way, and we need to build such infrastructure which will be fit for in next few years as well as in next several years. So if we briefly see the transport capacity of various transport mode, you know, if we have a shuttle bus system, it can carry up to 3,000 people per hour per direction. Cable car is similar like that. BRT transport, bus rapid transit could bring maybe 8,000 to 10,000 people like that. But for the capital city like Kathmandu, I strongly believe that we need a system which can cope, you know, which can transport people from 25,000 to 60,000 people per hour per direction. So this is my proposal of metro development in the central part of the Kathmandu. This is basically the red line is a Chakrapat line, is a current ring road. Basically the alignment shows that. And basically I propose we need a cross rail in Kathmandu. Cross rail is basically connecting east, west and north, south. And in this, this is the same map in a Google map version. So the basic idea is in the core part of the city, I propose that we have 9 major underground junctions. And I have 4 lines here. The green line is Kathmandu line, I name it. It goes up to Banepa and it goes up to Thankot in the west. It goes to Gokarna in the east. And the blue line is Patan line. It connects Budanil Konta to Godavari and some further out. This Patan Kathmandu line is the black, no, sorry, the Bisnumati line is the black line connecting Dharmasali, Chobar, and ultimately Dasinkali. So if we see that map in a bigger person in terms of Kathmandu Valley and Greater Kathmandu Valley, so this, my proposed map is this one. Here we have 5 lines. The additional line here is the golden line called Valley Line, which goes along the foothills of the valley. And I advocate that for within this metro map, this core part of the Kathmandu and the core part of the Bhaktapur area should be underground. So if we can build metro like this, then we can integrate the 18 municipalities and beyond of Kathmandu Valley. At the moment, these municipalities are not integrated. Even to go from one municipality to the other municipality from sitting next to each other, we have to go to the center first and then turn back. So this is the reality at the moment. So I think to build such kind of metro, we need 20 years of rail vision. Even we think metro we build now, you know, it will be 5 to 8 years to start something, and to build this whole network of almost like 200 kilometers. I think we need a strategic development for next 20 years. And that is why I said that the vision of 2040. So while thinking about metro in Kathmandu, we also need to think in terms of potential national network line. Like government is thinking about connecting Kathmandu Pokhara, Pokhara to Lumbini, some east-west lines are also there. So we need to think how to connect the metro system with the national network so that, you know, it become a robust system of transport. It will bring passengers to operate transport, operate metro successfully. We need to bring as much passengers as possible. And we are talking about now the connection with China through Raswagadi. So this line may probably come to Toka side. So maybe Toka is a future hub. So we need to think about this potential development while perceiving metro in Kathmandu. And we also need to think in a very micro scale. Like if you know, if a metro station come in certain location, how to make that metro station successful. For example, by by having a bus transport system as a feeder to the metro transport. That will make grand success to the metro operation. So we need integrated transport development. So this picture shows that how we need to integrate the overall transport system in Kathmandu Valley with the metro rail as a transport framework, as a transport backbone. So the metro is operating as our artery system, main artery system.
You have 2 minutes.
I have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Really, 12 minutes gone. We have 20 minutes now.
You have 7 minutes.
Yes,
okay, thank you then.
5 minutes.
Because I try to go a bit slowly because of time. I have 7 minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the whole idea is we should not think metro in isolation. We should not think bus transport in isolation. You know, we should not think the national network in isolation. We need to think in a global integrated approach. So while thinking about the metro development, we need to think about the metro stations as well. As I mentioned earlier, I perceive 9 major underground junctions for the Kathmandu, and these junctions will be multi-story basement underground structures. And this is the perceived underground stations at the Brikuti Mandap by one of the undergraduate architect student who had been consultation with me, and he did his undergraduate project for development of underground station at Brikuti Mandap. But local stations can be built here and there, enlarging the tunnel which passes through, which is used for train passing, or we can build simply like build a basement house and connect 2 tunnels side by side. And here I'm going to talk about we need to think metro beyond transport, because metro can be used for urban generation, urban regeneration. Metro can be used to develop business hub in Kathmandu. So, for example, I perceive these are a picture from Lobin Mall of Patan. So I perceive the metro will come, and underground, below the ground, there will be stations of metro, and above ground, there will be a business centers like this. So by these things, we can revamp the local economy. So I perceive here a major junction in Brikuti Mandap, because Brikuti Mandap is such a central place. It serves from Singadarwar to National Convention Center to many colleges and the Pradasani Marg to banks and Turikelt. So this is the center space. It's a public space. We will maintain that space, and the construction of underground station will be built underground. So I perceive like a station in King's Cross here in London. I perceive that sort of station in Brikuti Mandap. And here is a case study of how we can regenerate the city town, bringing metro. So for example, at the moment, this is Lagan Khel, and then Lagan Khel bus park is here. This is such a heritage site. We have Machindranath chariot goes around, but this place is managed such a hopelessly. It has been used as a car park. So if we bring metro station in Lagan Khel, how we can regenerate this place. And there is a stupa here. There are some ancient lake, ancient pond here. We can create this is the pond here, so we can bring a public space and in a well-managed way. So when we do this sort of regeneration, of course we need to think about the heritage conservation as well. So this sort of ideas goes, we can do it in Lagan Khel Chowk, Chavel Chowk, Balaji Chowk. It goes here and there. Likewise, we extend metro in some new location. We build a town there and make a proper town and make that metro success. And this is another example how we for example, Valley Line goes to Bungamati. We will not touch the Bungamati current settlement. We make a station outside the Bungamati. We make a new Bungamati station. So we preserve the heritage. We bring the modern things as well. So that sort of ideas works everywhere. And also, I also think that we, Valley as a capital city, we need a business hub in Kathmandu. And if we look at the geology, Krishna sir was about talking about the geology. So if we do a little bit survey of geology of Kathmandu, we can find, rocky geology in Chobar, where we which is very, within few 1 kilometer away from the ring road core area. And this geology is so good and good for making a kind of, high-rise buildings in the area. So the ground condition is very favorable. So maybe we need to think about building Chobar as a future business hub. So government is thinking about making a dry port there. So that sort of idea is matching. So, and maybe we build another business hub in Banepa and connect by metro. So metro will regenerate the capital city by that. And likewise, we need to think about the sports center in Kathmandu, sports hub. We know we just have the Dasrat Rangasala at the moment, all the time for last 20 years, 30 years. And we can generate local area and also bring passengers for the metro operation. So that sort of ideas work many places.
Now you have 2 minutes.
Yes. So urban rail network is not just a transportation facility. It is an instrument to regenerate and restructure our city. And by operation of metro, we can operate Kathmandu for 24/7. No, Kathmandu is not working, even after 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, there is no vehicles in Kathmandu, whatever vehicles, public transport we have. And in terms of development, we need to be strategic. It's very simple. Which one to build first? We can do a traffic survey, and we can do that. And my judgment is that we can build east-west line, Banepa to Thankot as a priority. This is 36 kilometer with 13.5 kilometer underground, and it will cost about $2.5 billion US dollar. And maybe another priority could be east north-south line, which costs about $2 billion as well. So in terms of construction, even to build this 25 kilometer, even if we build in a war scale, it will require 5 years construction time. And we are still in this advocacy phase, right? Even we decide now that we are going to build metro, we need to do a detailed design. We need to do procurements. It will take about maybe 2-3 years. So even we say we build metro now, it is 8 years beyond. So we need. So it's urgent that we need to think something about this and do something. And also metro development in Kathmandu is happening very haphazardly. Railway department is working, investment board is working, Kathmandu municipalities are working. So all these institutions should work together to build metro. And that's why I think that Kathmandu need a metro rail development authority that bring all the experiences one place and coordinate all the projects. And maybe investment board, town development board, railway departments support this authority, and metro development happens. So Kathmandu need a master plan of rail development. Man, metro rail development should be integrated. For example, urban development, housing development, heritage conservation, integration of transport, research
Thank you.
and
You
development.
should conclude your work.
Yes, I just have 3 more slides, I think. So, population of Kathmandu is increasing, and maybe in next 20 years, population will be 10 million, who knows? So we need a transport system. So we need to create a livable Kathmandu, and development of Kathmandu metro rail could reinvent and regenerate the valley. So, by metro development, we can drive the economy, we can bring a sustainable development, we can improve the quality of life. And metro rail is not just for us, this is for our children and grandchildren. So investment of metro is essential. So that's why let's work together. Maybe NRN can support in this matter for development of these infrastructures. And I would like to thank my current employer, Archidis, for encouraging me to carry on my research. And also I need to thank all the organizations which are directly or indirectly involved in and doing this research. Thank you. This ends my presentation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Binod Amarteju. You had a wonderful presentation, and this is a very burning issue for Kathmandu, and it's a very good work. So then we will have a question answer session at the end. So let's go to the next session now, next presenter now. So the next presenter is Dr. Netra Timilsina, and he will discuss about an overview on hydropower and dam safety. He will be discussing about hydropower and dam safety. what shall he focus, what we should focus on it. So Dr. Netra Timilsina, hope you are here.
I am here.
Binod, would you off screen? Yeah, off share. Yeah, good.
Can you see my screen, by the way?
It is blinking, so it is unstable.
It's okay now?
No. Would you go out and connect again?
I can try.
I can see you, but your presentation is not coming.
May I leave the meeting and connect again, or how can I do that? Can I?
Maybe if you have trouble, we can do like this. So I will ask next presenter to present first, and you prepare yourself. Will that be okay?
Yeah, but I'm prepared, but I don't know what I should do. I have a presentation and I'm ready, but
Netraji, you can be next presenter. I think Sunilji will take over and ask for next presenter. Sunilji, please.
So Rajday, thank you. Kumar sir, म त्यो सेसन्सहरुमा मोडरेसन गरिरहेको चाहिँ म त्यो चेन्ज हुँदाखेरि म यदि सायद कन्टिन्यू गर्दाखेरि होला। एउटा क्वेशन हाम्रो पन्थी सरको लागि आएको थियो त्यो मास्टर्सको
we'll talk at the end. Yeah, at the end we'll talk about it. So I have noticed that. Yes, just go ahead.
नेत्रजीको अलिकति टेक्निकल डिस्टर्बेन्सेसको कारणले उहाँले सायद कम्प्युटर रिस्टार्ट गर्यो भने पनि हुन्छ होला। त्यो प्रेजेन्टेसन मात्र अलिकति फ्लक्चुएसन भएको। हामीसँग अर्को सेसनमा चाहिँ अब यो डिजिटल कन्स्ट्रक्सन किन चाहिन्छ भन्ने टाइपमा प्रेजेन्टेसन छ र यसको प्रेजेन्टेसन गर्नको लागि चाहिँ म महेश कार्कीज्यूलाई रिक्वेस्ट गर्न चाहन्छु। इफ यु आर रेडी महेश। So please keep in mind that we have 20 minutes for the presentation, and if you can finish it faster, that's also better. You can put it in the slideshow mode, or yes. Please unmute yourself, and hopefully we can hear you. You are currently muted.
Okay. सुनिन्छ आवाज हो?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Okay. Let me. Okay. मेरो आवाज पनि सुनिन्छ, स्क्रिन पनि देखिन्छ नि है?
Yes, all good. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Sunil bhai. Okay. Due to technical problem ले गर्दाखेरि मैले यो मेरो सेसन अगाडि नै स्टार्ट गरे। सबैभन्दा पहिला आज सेसनमा सुनेर बसिरहनु भएको जुम या फेसबुकबाट जति पनि सुनेर बसिरहनु भएको सबैजनालाई थ्यांक यू सो मच। मेरो प्रेजेन्टेसन चाहिँ डिजिटलाइजेसन अफ नेप्लिज एईसी आर्किटेक्चर इन्जिनियरिङ कन्स्ट्रक्सन सेक्टरको बारेमा छ र बीम भन्ने एउटा नयाँ मेथोडोलोजी हो यो वर्किङ। त्यसलाई चाहिँ यसको फुल फर्म चाहिँ बिल्डिङ इन्फर्मेसन मोडलिङ पनि भनिन्छ, बिल्डिङ इन्फर्मेसन म्यानेजमेन्ट पनि भनिन्छ। यसको बारेमा थप म नेक्स्ट स्लाइडहरुमा पनि कुरा गर्नेछु र यो चाहिँ नेपालीज इन्डस्ट्रीमा कसरी प्रयोग गर्न सकिन्छ र नेपालीज एईसी सेक्टरमा अहिले जसरी ट्रेडिसनल वेबाट काम भइरहेको छ त्यसलाई कसरी डिजिटलाइज गर्न सकिन्छ भनेर म यसको बारेमा डिस्क्रिप्सन दिन्छु। सेसन सुरु गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि मैले मेरो बारेमा सानो जानकारी दिनुपर्दा म अहिले फिनल्यान्डमा विगत 8 वर्षदेखि बसिरहेको छु र म फिनल्यान्डमा मास्टर्स डिग्री यहाँनिर सिभिल इन्जिनियरिङमा सकाएर अहिले स्ट्रक्चरल इन्जिनियरको रूपमा सोइको वेब फिनल्यान्ड भन्ने कम्पनीमा पनि काम गरिरहेको छु। सँगसँगै म नेपाल बिम फोरम इन्टरनेसनल भन्ने संस्था छ यहाँ फिनल्यान्डमा, त्यसको को फाउन्डर पनि हुँ र इन्जिनियर विदाउट बोर्डर्स भन्ने अर्गनाइजेसन छ, हजुरहरूले सुन्नु पनि भएको होला इन्जिनियर विदाउट बोर्डर्स भन्ने। त्यसको भाइस चेयरपर्सनको रूपमा पनि काम गरिरहेको छु र NRNA फिनल्यान्डको म जेनरल मेम्बर हुँ। यो प्रोग्राम अर्गनाइज गर्नको लागि हेल्प गर्नुभएकोमा NRNA तथा NRNA फिनल्यान्डलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद, NRNA फिनल्यान्डको साथीहरू र स्पेसली राजु दाई जसले चाहिँ यो युरोप नलेज कन्फरेन्समा कोअर्डिनेट गरेर धेरै हेल्प गर्नुभएको छ। यसको लागि स्पेसली भेरी मच थ्याङ्क्स टु राजु दाई है। And also to everyone, सबैजनाको मैले फोटो राखेको छैन तर to everyone those who were in this. Okay. मेरो प्रेजेन्टेसनको कन्टेन्टको बारेमा कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि अलिकति म डिजिटाइजेसन भनेको के हो भनेर त्यसको बारेमा अलिकति डिस्क्रिप्सन गर्छु। अनि त्यसपछि नेपालीज एसी सेक्टरमा रहेको प्रब्लमको बारेमा अलिकति त्यसको बारेमा डिस्क्रिप्सन गर्छु र अनि BIM भनेको के हो र BIM ले कसरी इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने त्यसको बारेमा डिस्क्रिप्सन दिन्छु। सबैभन्दा सुरुमा डिजिटाइजेसन भनेको चाहिँ अहिले जसरी हाम्रो कोभिडको पिरियड छ, कोभिडको पिरियड हुँदा पनि हामी सबैजना एउटा डिजिटल टुल यो जुमको माध्यमबाट हामी जोडिन पाएको छौँ। हामीले चाहिँ यो युरोप नलेज कन्फरेन्स अर्गनाइज गर्न पाएको छौँ। हामी यसरी जोडिएर एउटा कोलाबोरेटिभली एउटा काम गरिरहेका छौँ। यो पनि एउटा डिजिटल टुल्स हो हैन। त्यस्तै गरी डिजिटल क्षेत्रमा पनि यस्तो धेरै डिजिटल टुल्स एन्ड टेक्नोलोजिजहरू प्रयोग गरेर हाम्रो कन्स्ट्रक्सन फेजहरूलाई चाँडै सस्तोमा र धेरै इरर्सहरू कम गरेर काम गर्न सकिन्छ। तर त्यस्तो टुल्सहरू नेपालमा त्यति साह्रो प्रयोग भएको पाउँदैनौँ हामी र यस्तो धेरै टुल्सहरू चाहिँ प्रायः जसो डेभलप नेसनहरूमा धेरै प्रयोग हुन्छ। कुनै पनि प्रोजेक्टको चाहिँ विभिन्न फेजबाट गुज्रिन्छ, जस्तै डिजाइन फेज हुन्छ, कन्स्ट्रक्सन फेज हुन्छ, त्यसपछि एउटा म्यानुफ्याक्चरिङ फेजहरू पनि हुन्छ र डिजिटल एसेट डेलिभरी फेजहरू पनि हुन्छ। तर हामी सबै फेजहरूमा चाहिँ हामी कन्सन्ट्रेट गर्दैनौँ, जस्ट एउटा डिजाइन र कन्स्ट्रक्सन फेजमा चाहिँ फोकस भएर म कुरा गर्छु। हामीले अघि कृष्ण सरले पनि एउटा फोटो देखाउनु भएको थियो। हामीले नेपालमा चाहिँ कतिजना चाहिँ मरेको चाहिँ बित्नु भएको फोटो, डेथ भएको फोटो चाहिँ नम्बर्सहरू प्रेजेन्ट गर्नुभएको थियो। त्यसै गरी हामीले यो न्युजमा चाहिँ हेऱ्यो भने एउटा पुल बनाउन 7 वर्षमा पनि पुल नबनेको चाहिँ न्युजहरू हामीले पढ्न पाइरहेका हुन्छौँ। सँगसँगै हाम्रो विनोद सरले पनि अघि प्रेजेन्ट गर्नुभएको थियो। एफएचआरले चाहिँ कन्स्ट्रक्सन सेक्टरमा चाहिँ जतापाए त्यतै काम गरेको कारणले गर्दाखेरि, कन्स्ट्रक्सन भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि विभिन्न सेक्टरहरू फ्लडिङ भएको कुराहरू भइरहेको थियो। अब यो सबै कुराहरूलाई प्रब्लमहरूलाई सल्भ गर्नको लागि हामीले कसरी चाहिँ हाम्रो नेपालको कन्स्ट्रक्सन सेक्टरलाई कसरी परिवर्तन गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ भनेर यसको बारेमा हामीले आइडेन्टिफाई गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो कन्स्ट्रक्सन सेक्टरमा रहेको मेन प्रब्लम भनेको चाहिँ समयमा काम नहुने, धेरै से धेरै कस्ट लाग्ने र कन्स्ट्रक्सन पनि क्वालिटी काम नहुने। हाम्रो मेन चाहिँ 3टा प्रब्लम रहिआएको छ हाम्रो नेपालीज कन्स्ट्रक्सन सेक्टरमा र यो 3टा प्रब्लम चाहिँ विभिन्न कारणले गर्दाखेरि हुन सक्छ र मैले चाहिँ एउटा सानो पोइन्टहरू आइडेन्टिफाई गरेको छु। जस्तै चाहिँ एउटा फ्र्यागमेन्टेड एसी इन्डस्ट्री छ हाम्रो। डिजाइन इन्डस्ट्रीले आफ्नै तरिकाले काम गर्छ, कन्स्ट्रक्सन इन्डस्ट्रीले आफ्नै तरिकाले काम गर्छ र उनीहरूको डिजाइनमा पनि त्यति साह्रो कोलाबोरेसन हुँदैन। डिजाइन गरेर बिडिङ गरेर अनि त्यसपछि कन्स्ट्रक्सन गर्नको लागि त्यो डिजाइन पठाए, कन्स्ट्रक्सन साइटमा जाँदाखेरि त्यो डिजाइनै मेल खाँदैन। त्यसकारण फेरि त्यो डिजाइन फेजमा फर्किनु पर्ने हुन्छ। एकदम फ्र्यागमेन्टेड छ हाम्रो इन्डस्ट्री। एकदम पुवर कोअर्डिनेसन र कोलाबोरेसन पनि छ। एकदम हाम्रो ट्रेडिसनल वे अफ वर्किङ छ। पेपर बेस्ड सिस्टमबाट हामी काम गर्छौँ धेरै नै। हाम्रो 3D बेस्ड सिस्टमबाट हामी अहिले कामै गर्दैनौँ त्यति साह्रो। अहिले कतिपय ठाउँहरूमा स्केचअपहरू चाहिँ अलिअलि भिजुअलाइजेसनहरूको लागि युज भएको पाइन्छ। अलिअलि 3D मोडलहरू बनाएको, तर त्यति साह्रो 3D मोडलहरू बनाउने र 3D प्रोसेसहरू इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्ने त्यति साह्रो चलनै छैन। र पुवर प्रोजेक्ट एक्जिक्युसन, प्रोजेक्टहरू पनि एकदम पुवरली एक्जिक्युट हुन्छ र डिजिटल टुल्स एन्ड प्रोसेसहरू त युज नै हुँदैन र अनइथिकल प्र्याक्टिसेस पनि धेरै नै हुन्छ हाम्रो नेपालीज कन्स्ट्रक्सन सेक्टरमा। सँगसँगै कन्ट्र्याक्चुअल र टेन्डर प्रब्लम त छँदैछ र सबभन्दा एकदम प्रेसिङ इस्यु भनेको लो कस्ट बिडिङको प्रब्लम पनि छ। र यो सबै कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो कन्स्ट्रक्सन सेक्टरमा धेरै समय लाग्ने, कुनै पनि काम गर्नु पर्यो भने वर्षौँ वर्षसम्म। अघि नै कृष्ण सरले पनि हाम्रो मेलम्चीको चाहिँ एउटा भन्नुभएको थियो, त्यसमासँग जोड्न चाहन्छु। एउटा हामीले मेलम्चीको प्रोजेक्ट गर्नु पर्यो भने 25औं 30औं 40औं वर्ष लाग्छ। वाइ इज द्याट हैन? किन त एकदम त्यत्रो वर्ष लाग्नुपर्ने? र सबै प्रब्लमहरू सल्भ गर्नको लागि बिमले सक्छ त? यदि सक्छ भने बिम भनेको के हो भनेर म यसको बारेमा भन्छु। बिम साधारण रूपमा बुझ्नु पर्दाखेरि धेरैले यसलाई एउटा बिम भनेको सफ्टवेयर हो भनेर पनि बुझ्छ र एउटा 3D मोडल हो भनेर पनि बुझ्छ, कोलाबोरेटिभ प्रोसेस हो भनेर पनि धेरैले बुझ्छन् र भर्चुअल मोडल, भर्चुअल डिजाइन एन्ड कन्स्ट्रक्सन भनेर पनि धेरैले सुन्नु भएको होला। यसलाई एउटा लेम्यानको हिसाबले बुझ्नु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ बिम भनेको चाहिँ हजुरहरूले फिजिकल स्ट्रक्चर जुन चाहिँ देखिन्छ हाम्रो आँखाले हैन, त्यो स्ट्रक्चर चाहिँ बाहिर बनाउनुभन्दा अगाडि नै कम्प्युटरमा डिजिटली बनाउने प्रोसेसलाई नै बिम भनेर बुझ्दा हुन्छ साधारण हिसाबले बुझ्नु पर्दाखेरि। जस्तै हामीले टनेल बनाउनु पर्यो भने टनेल बनाएर त्यसमा भित्र चाहिँ धेरै डिफ्रेन्ट कम्पोनेन्ट्सहरू राख्नुपर्ने हुन्छ र त्यो कम्पोनेन्ट्सहरू के राख्ने भनेर हामीले डिजिटली 2D मा ड्रइङ गर्ने हैन कि 3D मा ड्रइङ गर्ने। 3D मा ड्रइङ गरेर राखिसकेपछि हामीले प्रपरली आइडेन्टिफाई गर्न सक्छौँ विभिन्न कुराहरू। हामी 2D बेस्ड पेपर बेस्ड प्रोसेसबाट हामी चाहिँ 3D बेस्ड प्रोसेसमा जाने, कम्प्युटरमा बनाउने। हाम्रो पेपर बेस्डमा रहेको सबै इन्फर्मेसनलाई 0 र 1 मा कन्भर्ट गर्ने, यो प्रोसेसलाई चाहिँ बिम भनिन्छ साधारण भाषामा बुझ्नु पर्दाखेरि। हामीले देख्न सक्छौँ एउटा साधारण इक्जाम्पल चाहिँ हामीले सबभन्दा पहिला सुरुमा फोनहरूको कुरा गर्ने हो भने सानो हातमा एकदम डायल गरेर गर्नुपर्ने खाले फोन हुन्थ्यो हैन। नोकियाको हाम्रो 10 वर्ष अघि अगाडि बुवाहरूले बाहरूले युज गर्ने अर्कै डिफ्रेन्ट टाइपको फोन हुन्थ्यो। अहिले हाम्रो हातमा चाहिँ संसार नै हाम्रो मोबाइलमा हुन्छ अहिले हैन। अब भाइबर, जुम लगायत सबै टेक्नोलोजीले हाम्रो लाइफलाई कति साह्रो इजी बनाएको छ नि हैन। त्यस्तै गरी त्यो टेक्नोलोजिकल डेभलपमेन्ट्सहरू चाहिँ हाम्रो कन्स्ट्रक्सन सेक्टरमा नै भएको छ। फर इक्जाम्पल क्याड हैन, अटो क्याड भन्ने धेरैजनाले सुन्नु भएको होला। इन्जिनियरहरूले चाहिँ अटो क्याडमा ड्रइङहरू गर्नुहुन्छ भन्ने, तर त्यो अटो क्याडबाट ड्रइङ गर्ने सिस्टम 1960s तिरबाटै सुरु भएको हो। अझसम्म नि हाम्रो नेपालमा चलिरहेको छ त्यो सिस्टमहरू हैन। हामी डिजिटली हामी अझसम्म नि काम गर्दैनौँ। मैले कुरा गर्न खोजेको मेन बिम, बिल्डिङ इन्फर्मेसन मोडलिङ, हाम्रो वेस्टर्न कन्ट्रिजहरूमा चाहिँ यो चाहिँ 1990s देखि नै रिसर्च हुँदै बिस्तारै युज हुँदै आइरहेको छ। तर हामीले अहिलेसम्म नेपालमा युज गर्न सकेको छैनौँ। अब यसलाई कसरी युज गर्न सकिन्छ? अझ हामी बिमबाट माथि उठेर इन्डस्ट्री 4.0 सम्म नि गइसक्यौँ हैन। बिम भनेको चाहिँ मेनली यो बिल्डिङ मात्र पनि नबुझ्नु होला, बीबाट फेरि बिल्डिङ मात्र पनि होइन। यो बीबाट चाहिँ हरिजेन्टल र भर्टिकल कन्स्ट्रक्सन दुईटैलाई रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्छ। हरिजेन्टल कन्स्ट्रक्सन माने टनेलहरू, रोड डिजाइनहरू, त्यसमा पनि एकदम व्यापक रूपमा प्रयोग गरेर आइरहेको छ वेस्टर्न कन्ट्रिजहरूले। त्यसकारण कृष्ण सरले अघि जति पनि प्रेजेन्टेसन गर्नुभयो नि थ्योरेटिकल हिसाबले, अब त्यसलाई हामी कसरी डिजाइन गर्ने त, हाउ टु मेक इट अ रियालिटी हैन। त्यो चाहिँ कुन प्रोसेसबाट गर्ने, अझै हामी 2D बेस्ड प्रोसेसबाटै गर्ने कि अब अलिकति एडभान्स बिम प्रोसेसबाट गर्ने, त्यो इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा हुनसक्छ। भर्टिकल कन्स्ट्रक्सन जस्तै हाउसेसहरू, ड्यामहरू, त्यो कुराहरू छ। मेनली बिममा चाहिँ इन्फर्मेसन भन्ने चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट पार्ट हुन्छ। आई भने इन्फर्मेसन चाहिँ 3 प्रकारको हुन्छ। एउटा ग्राफिकल इन्फर्मेसन जुन भनेको चाहिँ लेभल अफ डिटेल्स र लेभल अफ डेभलपमेन्ट। त्यो भन्नाले के लेन्थ, ब्रेथ, हाइट, भोल्युम, क्वान्टिटी, त्यो चाहिँ बुझाउँछ उसले ग्राफिकल इन्फर्मेसन मान्नाले। नन ग्राफिकल इन्फर्मेसन मान्नाले त्यसको चाहिँ कस्ट कति पर्छ, त्यो बनाउनको लागि स्केड्युलिङ कहिले गर्ने, कति दिनमा बनिसक्छ, कति लेबर लाग्छ, त्यो लेबरलाई खटाउँदा कति पैसा लाग्छ, त्यो अर्डर गर्नु पर्यो भने कतिवटा अर्डर गर्ने, कति चाहिँ टन चाहिँ सिमेन्ट रोडा अर्डर गर्ने, सबै इन्फर्मेसनहरू त्यो चाहिँ हामीले ग्राफिकली चाहिँ इनपुट गर्न सक्छौँ मोडलमा। त्यसलाई चाहिँ नन ग्राफिकल इन्फर्मेसन भनिन्छ। लास्टमा चाहिँ हाम्रो डकुमेन्टेसन छ। डकुमेन्टेसन भन्नाले चाहिँ कमन डाटा इन्भाइरोमेन्ट बुझिन्छ। यो भनेको चाहिँ के हो भने साधारण भाषामा हाम्रो जस्तै चाहिँ टनेलकै कुरा गरौँ न। टनेलको कुरा गर्दा जियोलोजिस्टहरूले चाहिँ उहाँहरूले चाहिँ रिसर्च गर्नुहुन्छ। रिसर्च गरेर लिएर आइसकेपछि एउटा इन्फर्मेसन हुन्छ हैन। त्यो इन्फर्मेसन युज गरेर डिजाइनरहरूले डिजाइन गर्नुहुन्छ टनेल बेस्ड अन द डिफ्रेन्ट उसमा हेरेर। अनि त्यो इन्फर्मेसनहरूलाई सबैलाई एक ठाउँमा राखेर चाहिँ डिजाइन गर्नु पर्यो। अहिले चाहिँ हाम्रो नेपालमा कस्तो हुन्छ नि डिफ्रेन्ट इन्फर्मेसनहरू चाहिँ स्क्याटर हुन्छ हैन। त्यो एकदम गाह्रो हुन्छ कोलाबोरेसनको लागि। तर हाम्रो बिम बेस्ड प्रोसेसमा गएपछि एउटा कमन डाटा इन्भाइरोमेन्ट भन्ने हुन्छ। त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ हामीले काम गरेपछि एकदम सजिलो हुन्छ इन्फर्मेसन चाहिँ एक ठाउँमा राखेर काम गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ यहाँबाट चाहिँ मोडल पनि भन्छ मोडलिङ पनि भन्छ म्यानेजमेन्ट पनि भन्छ यसलाई त्यसकारण झुकिनु चाहिँ पर्दैन तर फेरि हामीले नेप्लिज केसमा बिम भनेको के हो भनेर रिसर्च गर्यो भने चाहिँ यसलाई ब्याचलर्स इन इन्फर्मेसन म्यानेजमेन्ट पनि भन्छ त्यसकारण यो ब्याचलर्स इन इन्फर्मेसन म्यानेजमेन्ट चाहिँ होइन त्यो झुकिनु चाहिँ हुँदैन हामी बिम भनेको हाम्रो एइसी सेक्टरमा बिल्डिङ इन्फर्मेसन मोडलिङ र आई माने इन्फर्मेसन र इन्फर्मेसन माने तीनटा ग्राफिकल नन ग्राफिक डकुमेन्टेसन भनेर बुझ्नु सजिलो हुन्छ मैले यो थ्योरिटिकल एस्पेक्ट त भने म अलिकति डेमो पनि देखाउँछु है के हो त यो बिम भनेको के रहेछ भनेर ओके फर इक्जाम्पल हामीले चाहिँ एउटा यो कोभिड आइसकेपछि चाहिँ के गरेको थियौँ भने एउटा आइसोलेसन मोडल बनाउँ न त भनेर हामीले एउटा ट्रायलको रूपमा एउटा बनाएको थियौँ
तपाईँको त्यो पावर पोइन्ट मात्र देखिरहेछ
ओके सरी आई विल जस्ट ट्राई टु रिसेयर गर्न ट्राई गर्छु Okay. Maybe I just share it again either. Okay, देखिन्छ अब?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So म भन्दै थिएँ बिम भनेको कस्तो हामीले चाहिँ यो कोभिड-19 आइसकेपछि चाहिँ हामीले एउटा आइसोलेसन मोडल डिजाइन गरेको थियौँ जसमा चाहिँ तीनटा डिसिप्लिनको मोडल छ यो चाहिँ आर्किटेक्चरल मोडल भयो जसमा चाहिँ विन्डो छ डोर छ अनि त्यसपछि देखाउँछु त्यसपछि यहाँनिर डक्टरहरूले प्रयोग गर्ने पेसेन्टहरूले युज गर्ने आर्किटेक्चरल मोडलहरुमा बनाएको छ हामीले हैन अब यसको अर्को चाहिँ एचभ्याक मोडल पनि छ यहाँनिर हामीले चाहिँ एयर भेन्टिलेसनहरु पनि राखेको छौं प्लम्बिङ सिस्टमहरु पनि कहाँबाट चाहिँ जान्छ सबै एउटै मोडलमा इन्फर्मेसन छ हामीले ट्रेडिसनल वेमा नेपालमा गर्नु पर्यो नि यसको छुट्टै छुट्टै हुन्छ यो डिफरेन्ट यसमा स्ट्रक्चरल मोडल पनि राखेको छ हामीले मैले स्ट्रक्चरल मोडल मात्र देखाउनु पर्यो भने हामीले त्यो सजिलै भिजुअलाइज गर्न सक्छौं हैन यसरी यसले के गर्छ हाम्रो काम चाहिँ धेरै नै सजिलो बनाउँछ र इन्जिनियरहरुलाई चाँडै प्रब्लमहरु आइडेन्टिफाई गर्नलाई सजिलो बनाउँछ र फाइनली कस्ट र टाइमको चाहिँ बचत गर्छ ओके म अर्को पनि सेकेन्ड देखाउँछु हामीले यो चाहिँ एउटा सेकेन्ड प्रोजेक्ट गरेको थियौं यो हाउस चाहिँ नेपालमा अहिले बनिरहेको छ नेपालको 5 खालमा वीरेन्द्र सैनिक उनीहरुको ट्रेनिङ प्लेसमा चाहिँ यो प्रोजेक्ट हामीले एउटा गरेको थियौं त्यसमा चाहिँ यो प्रोजेक्टमा चाहिँ मेनली क्वान्टिटी भेरिफिकेसनको लागि युज भएको थियो हामीलाई पहिले अलरेडी 2D ड्रइङ्स आएको थियो र 2D ड्रइङ्सलाई 3D ड्रइङ्समा लिएर आएर कति क्वान्टिटी डिफरेन्स हुँदो रहेछ भनेर हामीले क्वान्टिटी डिफरेन्स आइडेन्टिफाई क्याल्कुलेट गरेको थियौं र अनि विभिन्न प्रब्लम्सहरु पनि आएको जस्तै उनीहरुको 2D बेस्ड डिजाइनबाट चाहिँ गर्दाखेरि र हाम्रो 3D बेस्ड डिजाइनबाट गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले लगभग 20-30 वटा प्रब्लमहरु आइडेन्टिफाई गरेर कन्ट्र्याक्टरलाई दिएको त्यसकारण कन्ट्र्याक्टरले त्यो प्रब्लम्सहरु चाहिँ अलरेडी उले मिनिमाइज गर्न सकेर उलाई कस्ट र टाइममा चाहिँ फाइदा भएको थियो त्यसमा अलिकति म देखाउँछु टाइम हामीसँग धेरै थोरै छ त्यही भएर मैले यसमा धेरै देखाउन सक्दिन तर हामीले अलरेडी रिइन्फोर्समेन्ट हजुर 5 मिनेट्स ओके 5 मिनेट्स सो हाम्रो यहाँ अलरेडी रिइन्फोर्समेन्टहरु पनि एकदम अगाडि यसरी मोडलिङ गर्न सक्छौं सबै कुराहरु सबै इन्फर्मेसन मैले अघि इन्फर्मेसनको कुरा गरे नि एकदम इन्फर्मेसन इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट हैन किन भन्दाखेरि हामीले सबै अगाडि यहाँ राखिसकेको हुन्छौं र यही इन्फर्मेसनको आधारमा हामीले पछि चाहिँ कन्स्ट्रक्सन फेजमा चाहिँ काम गर्छौं ओके मैले यति भने अर्को शेयर गर्छु म फेरि यसलाई हामीले विदेशमा मात्र प्रयोग गर्ने हैन कि नेपालमा पनि प्रयोग गरेको छौं भनेर चाहिँ मैले देखाउन खोजेको त्यो प्रोजेक्टहरु है अघिदेखि हाम्रो एउटा अब ड्यामको पनि कुरा आएको थियो त्यो ड्यामको पनि मैले यहाँनिर राखेको छु जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल वेस्टर्न कन्ट्रीजहरुमा चाहिँ बीम बेस्ड प्रोसेसबाट विभिन्न प्रोजेक्टहरुमा काम भएको छ जस्तै लेफ्ट प्रोजेक्टमा देखाउन खोजेको लाओसमा पावर हाउस डिजाइन गरेको छ ड्याम यहाँनिर ट्रामको लागि टनेल है टनेलको नि कति कुरा आएको थियो हामीले त्यसपछि युएसए मा पनि यो यसरी ट्रामहरु डिजाइन गरेको थियो उनीहरुले सँगसँगै यहाँ पावर प्लान्ट पनि देखाइरहेको छु फिनल्यान्डमा पनि यसको एकदम व्यापक रूपमा प्रयोग हुन्छ अघि नै हाम्रो विनोद सरले भन्नुभएको थियो नि कुनै पनि ठाउँमा चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ टनेल बनाइसकेपछि त्यहाँनिर शपिङ सेन्टरहरु पनि बनाउँछ त्यस्तै एक्जाम्पल यहाँनिर छ फिनल्यान्डमा के गरेको थियो भने यहाँनिर तलबाट चाहिँ टनेलहरूबाट चाहिँ डे टु डे एभ्री एकदम ट्रेनहरू चाहिँ पास हुने, तर माथिपट्टि चाहिँ एकदम बिजनेस सेन्टर, यहाँनिर चाहिँ ठुल्ठुलो कम्पनीहरूको उनीहरूको चाहिँ बिजनेस हबको रूपमा प्रयोग गर्छ। त्यसकारण यो कुराहरू अलरेडी भिजुअलाइज गर्न सकिन्छ। एक्सपो सेन्टर हाम्रो फिनल्यान्डमा नै यहाँनिर यसरी टनेलहरू सबै डिजाइन गरेको पिक्चरमा देखाउन खोजेको मैले। यसरी टनेलहरू डिजाइन गर्दाखेरि अलरेडी टनेलमा चाहिँ एकदम क्रुसियल हुन्छ हैन, किनभने त्यहाँभित्र आगो लाग्यो भने एकदम ह्युमन क्याजुअलिटिजहरू एकदम बढी हुनसक्छ। त्यसकारण त्योहरूलाई रिड्युस गर्नको लागि कसरी चाहिँ राम्ररी डिजाइन गर्ने भन्ने कुराहरू राम्ररी भिजुअलाइज गर्नुपर्छ सबै कुराहरू। यो फोटोमा पनि देख्न सकिन्छ मेपको डिजाइनहरू, टनेलको डिजाइनहरू सबै यसरी। ओके, नेक्स्ट स्लाइडमा चाहिँ बिम बेस्ड प्रोसेस चाहिँ धेरै फेजेस अफ प्रोजेक्टमा प्रयोग हुन्छ। जस्तै प्लानिङ फेजमा पनि प्रयोग गर्न सकिन्छ, डिजाइन फेजमा पनि प्रयोग गर्न सकिन्छ, कन्स्ट्रक्सन फेजमा पनि प्रयोग गर्न सकिन्छ, र अपरेसन फेजमा पनि प्रयोग गर्न सकिन्छ। यसको डिफ्रेन्ट युज केसेस हुन्छ। र यो बिम बेस्ड प्रोसेसबाट गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म 33% लोवर कस्टमा चाहिँ आइडेन्टिफाई गरेको छ, र फास्टर डेलिभरी 50%, र लोवर इमिसनमा पनि यसले योगदान गर्छ, र इम्पोर्ट एन्ड एक्सपोर्टमा पनि। सँगसँगै वेस्टर्न वर्ल्डहरूमा चाहिँ बिम बेस्ड प्रोसेसहरू चाहिँ म्यान्डेट गरेको हुन्छ। भन्नाले यति अरबभन्दा यति करोडभन्दा प्रोजेक्टहरू चाहिँ बिम बेस्ड प्रोसेसबाटै गर्नुपर्छ भनेर म्यान्डेट गरेको हुन्छ उनीहरूले वेस्टर्न वर्ल्डहरूमा अहिले चाहिँ। त्यस कारणले चाहिँ विभिन्न कन्ट्रिजहरूको लिस्ट हो जसले चाहिँ म्यान्डेट गरेको छ, कति देशहरू अझ म्यान्डेट गर्ने प्रोसेसमा नि छ। र यो प्रोसेस चाँडै नेपालमा नि आओस् भन्ने।
2 minutes.
2 minutes, ओके, थ्याङ्क यू। म यसलाई स्किप गर्छु है, 2 minutes मात्र छ। त्यसकारण हाम्रो एडभान्टेज अफ बिम वे अफ वर्किङमा चाहिँ डिजाइन फेजमा पनि धेरै प्रकारको फाइदा हुन्छ, र कन्स्ट्रक्सन फेजमा पनि धेरै फाइदा हुन्छ। र सँगसँगै हामीले अर्को बिम फर हेरिटेज, ह्याप्पी सिभिल वर्क्सको कामहरू लगायत सिटी इन्फर्मेसन मोडलिङहरू, सिटीकै इन्फर्मेसन, जस्तै हाम्रो काठमाडौँ भ्यालीको चाहिँ विभिन्न कहाँनिर घर छ भनेर सबै इन्फर्मेसन मोडल गर्न सकिन्छ। सँगसँगै यो पछि हाम्रो एउटा साथीले पनि प्रेजेन्ट गर्नुहुन्छ, उहाँले चाहिँ मोडुलर र प्रिफ्याब्रिकेसनको बारेमा। र सबै यो इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्नलाई कसरी गर्ने भनेर चाहिँ हामीले फिनल्यान्डमा एउटा नन प्रफिट अर्गनाइजेसन इस्टाब्लिस गरेको छ, नेपाल बिम फोरम भन्ने। र यसको मेन काम भनेको चाहिँ 4वटा रहेको छ। बिम सम्बन्धी रिसर्च गर्ने, बिम सम्बन्धी इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्ने, बिमलाई स्ट्यान्डर्डाइज गराउने, र बिमको एजुकेसन गर्ने। र हाम्रो मोटो रहेको छ सपोर्टिङ डिजिटल ट्रान्सफर्मेसन अफ द नेप्लिज एसी इन्डस्ट्री भनेर हामीले अर्गनाइजेसन इस्टाब्लिस गरेको छ। र यो अर्गनाइजेसन अहिले फिनल्यान्डमा पनि रजिस्ट्रेसन छ, र नेपालमा पनि रजिस्ट्रेसनको लागि अन द वे छ। र हामीले हाम्रो काम गर्नको लागि यो विभिन्न बिम चाहिँ नेपालीज एसी इन्डस्ट्रीमा चाहिँ इम्प्लिमेन्ट गराउनको लागि विभिन्न इन्स्टिट्युसनहरूसँग मिलेर काम गरिरहेका छौँ। जस्तै फिनल्यान्डमा रहेको मेट्रोपोलिया, नेपालमा रहेको नेपाल इन्जिनियरिङ कलेज, सोनामा, जस्तै विनोद कृष्ण सरले अघि नै भन्नुभयो एमएससी रक एन्ड टनल इन्जिनियरिङको लागि करिकुलम स्टार्ट गर्नुपर्छ। त्यसै गरी अब बिम सम्बन्धी पनि करिकुलम इस्टाब्लिस गर्नुपर्छ, किनभने हामी चाहिँ ट्रेडिसनल वेबाट भन्दा पनि अब मोडर्न वेज अफ एजुकेसनमा जानु पर्यो होइन। हाम्रो इन्जिनियरिङ एजुकेसनलाई चाहिँ के गर्नु पर्यो, अलिकति एडभान्स बनाउनु पर्यो, नयाँ टुल्स एन्ड टेक्नोलोजी युज गर्नु पर्यो। त्यसै गरी हामी सोनासँग पनि मिलेर काम गरिरहेछौँ। लगायत फोटो देख्नुभयो, सरी है, एकदम छोटो फास्ट रूपमा भन्नु पर्यो। इफ कसैसँग केही क्वेसन छ भने प्लिज कन्ट्याक्ट मी, मेरो इमेल एड्रेस यहाँनिर छ। Once again, thank you everyone for listening. If you have further questions, please put it into comments. I'll try to answer it after the session inside. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, Mahesh. Next, we'll try to look into if NetRSOR is ready now.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's try to share your presentation.
Can you please, do you see my screen?
Yes, the browser at the moment.
Now the slides?
Yes, perfect.
It's okay now?
Yes, it's all up to you now.
That's good. Oh, yeah. How many minutes? 15 minutes, right?
20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay. Thank you very much. It's my great pleasure to be a part of this event. And namaste to everyone, and great to NRNA. I will be giving a little bit talk about the hydropower and dam safety